You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NBA season is off to a hot start, and there's been a lot of surprises early in the season. Chris Douglas, starting with you. Your New York Knicks, one of the biggest surprises so far. What in the world is going on in New York?
I'll tell you exactly what's going on. There's a dog being let off of his leash in New York City, and his name is Kristaps Porzingis. We have seen him go off this year. His numbers are incredible. He's averaging 30 points, 7.5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and he led the Knicks to 2 fourth-quarter comeback victories just this week, guys. At home, Madison Square Garden was electric. He's a fan favorite and best power forward in the Eastern Conference by far so far.
I could definitely see him getting into the All-Star game no matter what. He's putting up great points. As you can see off the alley-oop pass, dunking it home. He's going to be definitely good, but I think the whole Knicks as a whole have to come together, give him supporting cast. It's just Porzingis, Hardaway Jr., and then the rest is just, it's not as good.
I actually got a little chuckle after Douglas finished because I looked at Filip, and it seems like Filip is completely on the other side of the fence with this.
And I mean, what is there to say? Kristaps, I'll give him his credit. He's playing well, but, and that's a big but. We're talking about the Knicks here. The New York Knicks, the team that's been set up for failure year after year, hasn't found success in 20 years. You expect the New York Knicks, this New York Knicks team, to do something in the to make the playoffs, to be a playoff caliber team. You can't be serious with this right now.
With the way Kristaps Porzingis is playing, and they're over 500 for the first time in 3 years, 10 games in. It's looking pretty good, in my opinion. I see.
Yeah, but the Magic are one of the top seeds. The Pistons are one of the top seeds in the playoffs right now. This team is just waiting. I'm just waiting down, counting down the minutes until this team implodes on itself.
Okay, but if Porzingis is going to score 30 a night, and this team's going to be consistent every single night.
He's probably going to score 30 a night because no one else on that team can score 15 a night.
Well, no, his usage rate is through the roof now.
Yeah, that's what.
With good reason. You're right. The supporting cast isn't there. But if his usage rate is through the roof, leads the league in it at 35, and his true shooting percentage is up from last year with a higher usage rate, he's getting better in more opportunities. He's absolutely unstoppable this season.
Like I said, Porzingis, I think he's doing great right now, but
if he's unguardable, Marvin Williams, Dwight Howard, throw whoever you want, Cody Zeller, none of them could cover him. A simple pick and pop or a simple pick and roll.
It's a below 500 team.
You can't cover the 7'3" monster from Latvia.
Porzingis will get his buckets per game, but the Knicks will lose. It's going to be the same thing we saw with guys like DeMarcus Cousins.
But he's getting his buckets and they're winning right now.
Cousins was eating in Sacramento. He was destroying everyone who was guarding him. But much like the Knicks, Sacramento was not winning. They're going to fall apart. Any minute now, they're going to fall apart.
If you say so, man. To me, Porzingis, with the way he's playing right now, he's going to stick with this 30-point average.
I agree with that.
He's going for the scoring title.
But the Knicks will not. The Knicks will not. No shot.
Okay. One of the biggest surprises on opening night, the Cavs and the Celtics. Gordon Hayward gets hurt, and all of a sudden we think the Celtics will be falling away this season and the Cavs will be rising. It's been the complete opposite. The Cleveland Cavaliers, ice cold. The Celtics, red hot. Dante, how much of a surprise is this?
This is crazy. I mean, let's take a look at some stats comparisons between these two teams. You know, the Cavs, defending Eastern Conference champions, they're below 500 right now, and the Celtics have won 10 in a row. Offensively, okay, the Cavs have them, but defensively is where the big separation is. The Cavs allow the third most points per game in the league, and they're dead last in defensive efficiency. The Celtics are first in defense and defensive efficiency, and Brad Stevens, I want to kiss the man. He has Kyrie Irving playing defense. When was the last time you ever heard of Kyrie Irving playing defense? In terms of surprises, though, I think the Cavs scare me a little bit. They're going to be in the mix because the East is wide open. They could get back in, but they're playing with such a lack of intensity. And the East may not have crazy talent, but they have teams with a lot of hustle and a lot of heart. I wouldn't be surprised if this team got upset in the playoffs because someone else is out hustling them.
Now, switching over to the Western Conference, another big surprise. Filip, your Oklahoma City Thunder. They add 2 All-Stars in Carmelo Anthony and Paul George, but things have not been great with them. What is going on in Oklahoma City, Filip?
Well, we're currently on a 4-game losing streak, which is not pleasant to watch. And going into not last night's game against Denver, but the game prior to that, we're going up against the 1-8 Sacramento Kings. A game I was more than expected to win, and watching them watching these Kings drop 32 more points on them in 3 quarters almost made me have a heart attack. This team is abysmal right now. If you look at the big 3, obviously they're going to get their points. They're scoring a lot more than the rest of the team. But this is off a lot more shots. Melo, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook are shooting the majority of shots. They're rebounding almost as much as the rest of the team. Obviously, double the amount of assists and the turnovers is the biggest problem for the team. Russell Westbrook's averaging 5 turnovers a game, which he can't be winning. He's not going to have a winning team, especially in the playoffs, if he's doing that. No shot.
I think these 3 guys are too good to not figure it out by the middle of the season at least. But if they can't figure it out, it's an indictment on Russell Westbrook. This is the second set of Hall of Fame teammates, Carmelo Anthony and Paul George now.
Hall of Fame teammate.
Yes, you heard me, Phil. Hall of Fame.
Who is his Hall of Fame teammate?
Kevin Durant and Harden the first time
All right,
around,
I
and
agree
now
with
he's
those.
got Paul George and Melo.
I disagree with
All
those.
4 of those players are going into the Hall of Fame. If
Carmelo
Westbrook can't get it done,
His
that's
best
an indictment
teammate
on
is
him.
Andre Roberson.
He can't
plays defense.
He can't coach
Because
just with
Andre
other
Roberson
stars.
plays defense.
Why is Andre Roberson in the
Steven Adams
conversation?
and Andre Roberson are the only ones in the starting lineup who play defense.
Russell Westbrook can't coexist with stars, and that's what it looks like to me so far.
Russell Westbrook, I think, will never win a championship. He'll never win a championship.
Right.
He's the best player on that team, and he's the best player right now. So this is not a championship caliber team, in my opinion. But saying that he has 2 Hall of Fame players, Paul George, who's had a 3-year run as an All-Star, and Carmelo Anthony, the guy who's been cut short every time in his career.
Paul George has a bunch left to do in his career, and Carmelo Anthony has already accomplished he can retire today and go into the Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
He probably
100%.
will, but it's going to be the most undeserving Hall of Fame player of all time.
How do you figure? He has scored 20 points for 15 straight seasons
And
per game.
In those 15
scoring
years,
titles.
In those 15 years, his
Best-
only accomplishment is 1 scoring title. He made it to the Western Conference Finals once, and that was thanks to Chauncey Billups.
All right.
He was the best player on a team for a decade, and this is the first time he has players better than him on the same
That is
team.
ridiculous.
All right, Carmelo Anthony, you have some fans here, and you don't have some fans. Russell Westbrook, you have some fans, you don't have some fans. That's all we have for this episode of WP Sports Desk. Thank you to our analyst crew and studio manager, Al Clarke. From Studio B in Hobart Hall, I'm Chris Turner-Demondo. We'll see you next time.